middle of the night. Hear the bus, I rub my red eyes, praying I could catch my flight. Fast as lightning, twice as frightening, so not sure my hope.
Hey, you guys, welcome to Fast, Hard, Finish. I am Bo McBigtime. That is Scott Santa Fitzpatrick Simpson at Nimble W Numbers. And this is Fast, Hard, Finish. He's a Cocaine Bear fan.
Shout out
Not
Cocaine
the
Bear.
Chicago Bears, the Cocaine Bears. Big difference.
Cocaine Bears. Shout out.
Da Bears.
Da Bears. The Cocaine Bears.
And I sure hope nobody has epilepsy. I'm going to turn these on blinker, not just strobe. So, yeah. This is our hangout time, and we're leading up to Christmas. Hanukkah just ended yesterday or the day before, so we're in the full-fledged holiday season right now, and I'm excited. I just love this whole time of year.
Man, I get so excited. We cut down our Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving. We go out there as a fam, and we wear the hats, and I get the saw, and I chop the tree down. We carry it in, and when we do the Advent every day. It's great. I'm a big fan of the holiday times, honestly.
What are you drinking, Scott?
You know what? I'm drinking. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, here it is. This is a big dog. It's from Goose Island, 14.6% Burl. It's bourbon barrel aged stout in some bourbon barrels down there in Kentucky. Wow. And it's lit. It's lit. I'm gonna go through it though. I'm gonna go through it, and then I've got myself some Balvenie. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Scotch. Shout out
Scotch. Down it goes. There it goes down into my belly.
I don't. Roto Bond, Pete Davidson, a bunch of Scotch heads out there. Shout out all those people. Roto Lounge, all you guys. Cheers. What do you drink?
As you can see, I have a little bit of home brewed eggnog.
Ooh.
And yeah, this is my second batch this week because it's so fucking good. And the best part about it is if I don't kill it on the first night, which I did the first batch didn't last through the night. Didn't even put it in the fridge. It was so good. This is a pint jar, like 16 fluid ounces of good old fashioned eggnog. And it's got the nutmeg and the cinnamon cell at the bottom, but about 6 ounces of Buffalo Trace are floating in here.
Ooh.
It's frothy and it's delicious, and I'm gonna finish this up, and then I got some Russell's Reserve 10-year aged bourbon because I'm a bourbon guy. Shout out to all the bourbon lovers out there. Buffalo Trace in here, Russell's Reserve 10 over there.
Look at that. I got a little bourbon in my barrel. You've got some bourbon actual from a barrel. This is one of my favorite hangouts. In case you guys don't know what the format of the show is, you're just getting to hang out with me and Bo, and we're just hanging out. That's it.
And we have one dedicated segment that we don't always get to called DFS Show and Tell.
Yes.
Which sometimes is about DFS. Sometimes we talk about our redraft teams, and sometimes it's about nothing at all. We're just kind of winging it, and this is when Scott and I hang out for the week. We talk. We both have day jobs. We both have families. We're both girl dads. # girl dads. And so we don't get to talk to each other very much during the week. So Saturday night, the Fast Hard Finish is leading up to kickoff Sunday. We do have a special New Year's Eve episode coming up on Thursday night. Ooh. Where we're going to count down. We're going to drop the balls on 2020 on the East Coast at least. And I'll be able to stay up late and drop the balls on 2020 on the West Coast with my daughter afterwards. So it's going to be a win-win-win-win-win.
Dude, I can't wait. And what's cool is that people were asking me if I wanted to do a show with them, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do
Too bad.
My man Matt McCoy from about 9:30 or 9 to 10:30. Jump off of there, jump in at 11 with us, and we're going to go rock it until. Listen, I don't know what's going to go on, how late it's going to go. We're just going to enjoy the night and kick in 2021. We're going to say what we loved about 2020, what we did not like about 2020, what we're excited
about. We're going to get deep voices as we drop our balls on 2020.
Oh, my balls
Teabag
ready to
2020.
drop. My balls are
Hashtag Teabag 2020.
hashtag in your face, have a taste. So, I'm waiting to push that one out there. It's one of my favorites. I say it all the time to everybody. And they're like, that's kind of disgusting. And I'm like, well, have you had a taste? So, anyway.
I'm not that flexible, Scott.
You know what? Listen, we've all been that boy when we were 15 traveling in the Amazon. We could do it. No, hashtag funny story. One of my best friends, we're not going to say who, I had a real conversation with him and his brother where he explained when he was in high school he could do that to himself. And we were like, no, dude, you never could. It was a dream. We've all had the dream. It's not real. He's like, no, I couldn't. We're like, oh, yeah, like every young boy does at Carnivale. They just, magically they develop some powers to, do that. No, it's not real, folks. It's not how it works. It's not how it goes.
Yeah, I'm sure somewhere on the internet you could find it, but if it's somebody from your high school, they're bullshitting you.
My friend's brother, we're like, shut the fuck up, dude. We're not drunk enough yet to believe that bullshit. So,
Dingus is here.
Oh, I love Dingus, dude. All right. It says Bo needs to explain his mysterious waxing past. Bo, what's going on here, man? Am I in?
Did you miss the show today? The Vipers were on, and it was Dingus getting his chest waxed, and he's a hairy motherfucker like I am.
I've seen him, yeah.
Dark, coarse facial hair. He's got the big, bushy Sam Elliott mustache. It's quite magnificent. I'm a big fan, Dingus. But he got his chest waxed, and he came out shiny as a seal. And I divulged that I used to do that every 8 weeks for a while. And so he hypothesized that I must have been a stripper or a gigolo in a past life. I wasn't, but when you're in your early 20s and you live in Northern California and the party scene is lit and the girls don't really like any kind of body hair, you do what you got to do. I'll just leave it at that.
Hell yeah, man. You do what you got to do. Yeah, Nathan likes your glasses. Bo's crushing it. Bo's game is strong to quite strong. If you don't know, he's taking over Twitter. He's beating me in my contest with him, or our contest together.
Hey, Scott, I think you should be used to that by now.
I'm getting totally used to it. And you know what? I'm okay with it, actually. It's nice to find people who are better than you and just learn from them. And I'm learning a lot. What do you think of my lineup this week? Anything we can learn from each other this week in our head-to-head for the fancy six-pack Thunderdome? Your
Thunderdome lineup reeks of desperation. Let's say that. I love it as a GPP build, but as a cash lineup, I'm petrified that you're either going to score 190 or you're going to score 90.
Right. That's what I'm doing.
And I did that to you earlier, and it didn't really blow up in my face, but I didn't get the performance I wanted out of Derrick Henry the week before last when I went heavy risk. And it was the guys that I picked for that were actually pretty good, but the guy that I didn't think I had to worry about was a game scripted out by his own defense that week when the Browns kind of lit him up in the first half and took Henry out of the game. But last week, I went safe and beat you with a narrow victory because we both kind of went safe. We both kind of went really good cash plays, solid volume floor, like we should have done. And it was a nice close matchup. We both had great lineups, and I just came out on top.
Right.
This week, I went safe to a little risky. I mean, maybe it's close to a multiplier lineup because I kind of went stars and scrubs on you. Yeah. But you went full-fledged, I'm batshit crazy, like a Fox type lineup. And so, you do you, boo-boo. It's a Thunderdome.
It is a Thunderdome, and I can pull the Thunderdome up, and that's the cool thing about Thunderdome. It's on Fantasy Six-Pack, and so
yeah, we're not hiding anything. I build my lineup, I write it up, and I send it to you. I'm like, hey, Jesus, take the wheel. We're gonna know what each other has. There's really no late swaps when we do have head-to-head because unless there's an injury, of course. But as it stands, we get to measure our stuff up against each other and kind of set a line. And I like my chances if a couple of your guys don't do what you're hoping they do.
Yeah.
But we only matched one player, which is I was shocked. I thought we were going to match 4 or 5 this week because you haven't been listening to anybody. You've been doing your fantasy Gandhi fast of information, and I'm not. I'm pulling from everybody. I'm reading Kyra Wietrowski's article. I'm reading Chris Robbins' articles. I'm reading every DFS article I can find to see who agrees with me, who's got different players. And I dive in. I'm like Tony Montana in a powdery pile of information. I'm going all in to fill my brain with DFS each week, and you did the opposite. And so we are quite different this week. So you're either crazy like a fox, or you've lost your damn marbles and you're going to get your ass beat again.
I'm excited because I have my lineup. I'm not able to find it right now, but my lineup is, I can go through it. Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I think his upside is ridiculous. He has upside of 40 points. I mean, he's ridiculous. Or he could get you 24, right? Whatever.
He's
right?
my favorite tournament play at quarterback. I'm spending up on Lamar Jackson because what you might not have remembered is last week when he was on the crapper, the play before he came running back because he had to, Trace McSorley really hurt his knee. And RG3 was the only other quarterback they had all season, and he hurt his hammies on IR. So they're going to call up a practice squad quarterback, which means if they're blowing the brakes off of the Jags this week, they don't have nobody to throw in that fourth quarter garbage time. It's going to be Lamar still out there.
Yeah, the whole time.
Usually they would throw RG3 or McSorley out there for the fourth quarter to kill the clock
not
because
happening.
they can and to save Lamar. That's not going to happen this week.
No,
so I love Lamar this week. And I'm going to give you Lamar 30, 35 points. I have to expect that to happen because I love the play so much. It's the rest of your team that I'm a little scared for you.
All right. Well, let me talk about what I think about these plays, right?
Yeah.
So, Derrick Henry, I think, he's expensive, but I think he's going to run all over Detroit. Of course. You have Alvin Kamara, so do I. So it's a wash.
Yep.
All right. So we're out. All right. Brandon Ayuk had, against the Washington football team, he had 16 targets for 119 yards, no touchdowns. Right? Yeah. Dallas Cowboys are worse than the Washington football team. I don't think he gets 16
by far.
I don't think he gets 16 targets. I think he probably gets around 10 targets. But if you can take 8 of them to turn into 95 and a touchdown, that's all I need. Right? And I think he can do that this week. And he's got upside if he takes it to the house twice. If he gets a gadget play, gets a reverse, there's no Debo in there, he can do it. All right, so that's an upside play for sure, right? But that's the next 2 plays are batshit crazy. I'm not going to deny them. All right, I'm about to tell you, one of them is Emmanuel Sanders at 4,200. I mean, that's nothing. That's terrible.
I'm worried about Drew Brees getting knocked out early in that game because of the pass rush that he's going to be facing, and there's no way he's as healthy as he says he is 5 weeks after a 2-month injury. And he's 41 years old. He just rearranged the pieces that he got knocked into last month. And they're throwing him in because it's a big game. But the Chiefs have Chris Jones. They have all these great pass rushers. They like to throw exotic zone blitzes in. So there's no MT. There's the only security blanket is Kamara. He's going to have a huge game for both of us. And just about everybody else. I mean, 7,400 for Kamara with Breeze there. It's just that's chalk city.
Yeah, it is.
But what you're going to see is finding outside receivers against that secondary for Kansas City is going to be tough. And so, I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is the only way he's going to save you. I see is if he gets a touchdown because I don't see the volume there.
No, it's an upside play for a touchdown for sure. I'm not looking for 8 targets for him. I'm looking for 4 targets. One of them's a red zone, 25-yard touchdown.
Yeah. So keep going with your lineup. Keep going.
Then I have the craziest play of all time. Sammy the Lizard King Watkins. I don't know what came over me. So
you're peppering that high total game. I mean, it's a 52 over under. It's probably going to go over that. It's in the dome with no fans, so Mahomes and Breeze are going to have one of those shoot 'em out slugfests, and it's going to be interesting. That game's going to be really fun to watch, and everybody's going to get to watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it, except during the time when my family drags me away to do Christmas, and I got to open presents. And apparently, boo, and everyone knows it's on Zoom, by the way, and everyone knows that old Scotty's had a bad year because my wife went to the family pierogi making event today where they all make the Polish pierogies, which are delicious.
I was following along.
Yeah, I'm a great pierogi maker, by the way. I crush it. Every year I get there, I'm just like boom, boom, pierogi. I love them. They're delicious.
So pierogies are just the Polish version of every other pocket sandwich there is in the world. You got pierogies, you got wontons, you have raviolis, you have you got empanadas, you have all these the same samosas in India.
Yep.
You have all the same foods, just filled with different cultural ethnic foods.
Yeah, you have
the Polish version.
Stickers. What I like about the Polish version though is the cinnamon and the sugar and the cheese and the potato fried up onion crisp that we do. It's just fucking delicious. And I went to Poland during Christmas in the Christmas market. I was in Poland and we were there drinking the gold wine, having the
Were you in Warsaw?
Yes, we were. And Krakow too. We went to both places. And it was nice to be able to spend Christmas in the capital. Went to the cathedral for midnight mass. Drank the whole city. It was awesome. It was great. 2010, actually 2009 into 2010 Christmas over there. And it's the same thing. Exactly what you said. Ethnic, whatever your ethnicity is, you put in a little fried pocket of dough, some scrapes from your table that are in your pan, and you put in a little thing and you throw it in there and you fry it with some butter or whatever. They're great. So Rose went to make them all day. She came back home and they kept saying, why does Daddy have so many presents? So I got like 7. So if I don't post for this shit, it's gonna be right in the middle of the Saints game, right in the middle of the most important part of the game. They're gonna be like, Scott, time for family Christmas on Zoom. I'm like, oh God, yeah, okay, great. Let's wrap it up. Can I go first?
In the red zone. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B. Dave Chappelle shout out. Wrap it up, B. So, hey, I got to tell you, I don't have epilepsy. I like what you're doing, man. I feel like I'm in like a little Christmas advent here. You got beautiful glasses, a wreath around your face. There's lights blinking. Santa's. This is great, man.
I just look damn good today. I mean, what can you say?
No, I'm just so glad.
I feel great.
So glad that Trump is allowing us to say Merry Christmas, man. You know what I mean? That's just ballsy. It's real ballsy.
Yeah, I really appreciate when the government gives me permission to do something.
Me too, man, because I have no free thinking, and I wouldn't have thought of it myself.
Man, if I was face down, I doubt I'd have the presence of mind to turn my head and breathe.
You know what? I hope when I'm dying, I'm vomiting, that the government can come by and just kick me in the nuts just to remind me of how stupid I am. I can't wait. Just come on, freak me.
Just think about how bad it could be.
Right. I know. Here's the thing: if you're a competent person, you're terrified. Part of you, and then also part of you is like, there's people like me out here. I know there are, and you're getting to see people hang out with each other because we're getting to be besties. And I got to tell you, when Bo McBig Time wins $100,000 or $50,000 or $10,000 or $1 million one of these days, I'm going to say, told you bitches so. You should have been on the DFS. Bo knows. We're always pumping Bo knows. Check out Bo, man. That guy knows. He knows. It's just the truth.
So after Sammy Watkins, for some reason, did you go safer at any point?
No. I went Gronk and then Irv Smith, double tight end stack attack.
in a cash game.
Yeah, just to do it to you, man. I love
the value. I mean, I really love the value because those are guys that have wide receiver 2 equivalent potential, and they're priced down at 42 and 36. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I mean, you're seeing what I'm trying to do, though. Like, I'm hedging bets, but I'm betting hedges. You know what I mean? And I was so excited that you had Mahomie because if Mahomie throws to my guy, I want my guy to get the targets. If he's not targeting him at all, like he's targeting your guys, Travis Kelce, I'm fudged. It's over, John. It's over. Tell your and I finished with the Washington football team defense because I think that on the sand pit that tore up RG3's leg there that we call the Washington FedEx Field. They're going to be just tackling and turnovers and broken legs.
And it's going to be nasty out there. That weather is cold and bitter out there. That field is shit.
I've been here. I live here. It has not been above freezing the last couple of days. It's cold, man. It's cold.
Isn't it supposed to be wet tomorrow too?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I designed my lineup to PPR you to death. I'm gonna be like death by 1,000 PPR cuts because I just went like, who's gonna catch the most balls? Who's gonna get just a sheer ridiculous amount of volume at every spot? It's a classic cash game build, and so I went Patrick Mahomes at my quarterback. I spent up at 7,900 because I think this game's going to really just blow up in passing attempts for the Chiefs. Win or lose, they can't run the ball on the Saints. They don't even want to try to run the ball against the Saints because they can't. CEH is not a good player. I've never liked him.
Terrible.
He's good against bad defenses if they give him any attention, but they don't. That offense is predicated around Patrick Mahomes, scrambling around, throwing the ball deep, finding Kelsey, finding Hill, finding Hardman, hopefully not finding Watkins. Hopefully Watkins tweaks a hammy for a quarter and just kind of just lulls around the rest of the game. It's very plausible.
It is.
But I stacked him with Travis Kelsey, so I spent up on my feature stack there, which I don't really like to do in a cash game, but against you, I just wanted to rub it in your face with spending up and just hammering you with Travis Kelsey with 11, 170 and 2 touchdown line, and Mahomes going for 45 points. I can't wait to see those two just completely obliterate the Saints. Because if Jalen Hurts can do it, just imagine what Patrick Mahomes can do. Because Patrick Mahomes is like Jalen Hurts 5.0.
Well, I agree, and that's why I'm excited that maybe, just maybe, Sammy Watkins can get a little taste, a little nibble.
He's still alive. I thought he retired.
No, he's being held together with DNA from 2019.
Does he have the same trainer as Will Fuller? I need to know. He must now because he already pulled his hammy and was out for 4 games before this year. Before a couple weeks ago.
I hope he pulls his hammy on the last play of the game as he's catching the game-winning touchdown as a 98-yard pass. That's how he crosses the goal line. He falls down and goes, I broke my hammy.
He broke it. He just broke it. He crackled into. It's like peanut brittle hammy. It's like
he like turns into dust and like fades into the just goes up.
Like on the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the zombies on the Mummy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, my running backs are Kamara, which I see as an easy value. And I went Nyheim Hines, which I know both of us love.
I love him. Yeah.
It's going to be more of a kind of a throw it around type game for the Colts. I think I just have this weird gut feeling because I called JT's blow up last week. I nailed the exact number of rushing yards he would have. I knew he would have 2 touchdowns. I pretty much predicted the final score of that game against the Raiders. I have a good feel. I mean, me and JT we're locked in. We are locked in. He's been my rookie RB1 all year. I had faith. I bought him for a first-round pick earlier this season before he blew up. And this week is not the JT week. He's going to do fine, but he's way up at 7,000. So I'm not spending up for him this week. I love the guy, but I think this is going to be more of that Nyheim Hines getting 8 catches for 100 yards and maybe scoring 1 or 2 touchdowns through the air and maybe stealing more carries from JT because Frank Reich likes to rest JT for some reason. He does it for quarters at a time, even when JT's on fire. So who's to say after a 20 carry plus game last week that he's just going to say, oh, it's a Hines game. And I really do feel that that's the case this week because Houston can't stop anybody at any position. And so the Colts are going to spread it around. And we know that Phillip Rivers loves to dump it down.
Yeah, well, he's the dump down master, Dump down.
But how interesting is my lineup after this? I have 4 wide receivers. I have 3 wide and a flex that is also wide receiver, and not a single one is priced over 5,300. My WR1 is Kiki Kute at 5,300.
I'm not against that whatsoever. I am a little bit surprised that just for my money that you went CD Lamb, because that was a very much a kind of personal situation. I was wondering.
Are you really surprised that I took a jab at your boy?
Sorry, hold on. I have dog shit in my throat. Some white dog shit in my throat. I'm fine. That was not.
He was the last little garnish on that one, just to twist the knife.
Listen, when Sammy Watkins catches his second touchdown, I'm going to tweet you an eggplant emoji tomorrow. Maybe 2 of them. I don't know.
When CeeDee Lamb has 10 for 95 and no touchdowns, I'll still take it. 19 points in a PPR out of my flex at 4,500.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Would you start CeeDee Lamb this week or Deontay Johnson?
It's a toss-up. I like Deontay's matchup better, and I think that it's kind of a get-right game, so I'd probably lean that way. His volume's just been off the charts, and I think that he's going to put extra stickum on the gloves for this game because he knows that if he drops a couple balls in the first half, he's going to be riding the bench again.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That shot's already been fired over the bow.
Here's a question: if you're in the chat, can you guys start tweeting Ryan Fitzpatrick? Just screenshot me whenever you see me doing this, and let him know that his doppelganger, a little chubbier, a little deeper throated, not as smart, not a Harvard educated man, not as smart.
You did not get a 49 on the Wonderlic. I know that.
No, but I will say this. I have read Les Mis, the unabridged version. So, whatever that's worth. My wife told me I was a tool for doing it at the time. She said, "Oh, you're reading all about like the parts when they were in Paris and they're in the church and they're describing the church and the nuns and the behavior." And so I said, "Yeah, I'm reading that part right now."
And you're probably like, I was hoping there'd be pictures in this book.
Why? The. Sorry, I got it. That's a hard one. So
the Miserables.
The Miserables. Actually, I will say that my jaunt through the judgmentalness of European culture, whether it's in German culture or English culture or French culture or any culture, it's crazy. And I think that Victor Hugo particularly showed the contempt for the proletariat, as they called it, or as we call it now, the Trumpers. And here's the truth: is that we need to care for all the people in the society that we live in, community-wise. Whatever group you're from. That's what the Les Mis is about. They went to the barracks.
For Marylanders. Marylanders are weird.
Man, you son of a bitch! No, I'm just saying. Phil Burns is in the chat. He's a Marylander. He'll come at you, Bo. We'll come together. We'll ride. Me and Phil will ride or die from Maryland out to Cali, straight. Dazed and confused.
All I have to do is throw a crab cake off a cliff, and I take care of both of you.
I don't think that will happen. Because here's the thing: we're not that attached to it. Oh,
you are.
No, we're not.
You can't even throw a rock in Maryland without hitting a crab cake joint.
Oh, man, that's not even the truth. It's more closer to Naples that you get. But I'll say this. When you go out and you catch the crab yourself, and then you go back, you cook it yourself, and you do the crab feast yourself, there's something very enjoyable about that. But just remember, you're eating an animal that eats shit. So that's why I don't eat crabs like twice a year, maybe once or twice every couple of years. It's not prolific in my Maryland experience. I would say what's more prolific in my Maryland experience is eating wise. It's just like you have a cornucopia of all types of food like you do in California. You can eat anything you want. You can have Mexican. You can have, El Salvadorian.
Most of the food you have that's a staple is grown here. So, I mean, we pretty much get anything organic we want too. So, like, we know where all our food comes from because it's from the farm next door.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about I think both of our regions is that Maryland is a agriculture producer as well. I live out in an area with a lot of bovines and cow fields and pork fields, and as a matter of fact, there's 2 nesting
poppies.
Yeah, no, we're not talking Sons of Anarchy, slash.
Oh, you don't live in Afghanistan. I'm sorry.
No, or Ozarks, because that was,
right.
I'll do say though, there's a cow field about 3, 4, 5 minutes from my house that has a nesting pair of bald eagles in it that I've jumped over the fence into this cow field and gone up and taken pictures of the bald eagles before, both of them together in the tree up on the branches. We haven't seen any babies yet. We're hopeful though that eventually we'll see a younger male bald eagle. Yeah, we've been watching the last couple of years. Oh! Hey, what's up, man? Mike Collins in the house. I love it, man. Welcome, brother. Talking bald eagles. Yeah, talking bald eagles up by my farm. But you jumped into the Christmas special, as it might be called, or the Yuletime ale. Bo's got some nog. He's chilling out. I got a little Steve Wisga bourbon infused barrel stout that was gifted to me today on the Christmas day of holidays. So good to see you, brother. How you doing, man?
Whatever. I'm doing okay. I have Devontae Adams in my main league. So
what happened? I didn't see.
Oh, you got 11 points.
No, I'm dead. How many points did Aaron Jones have?
A lot.
Good game. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch. I was working.
I caught the first half, and the Packers were smashing them. So I was like, yeah, it's not going to be that fun.
No, I was podcasting. This is my 3rd podcast tonight, which is great. But let me just see. Aaron Jones got 28. Fuck! That's not great. It's not great. I'm facing him. So.
In my home league semifinal, I'm going up against the Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers stack, and I couldn't be happier at the timing of their kind of down game because it was more of a run it out kind of game with Aaron Jones. Because I went from projected losing 150 to 120 to projected winning 140 to 130. And that was after he had Waller yesterday. So he was like, he had somebody yesterday blow up. But I had Josh Allen.
I have Waller, so I was like, oh, this is great. I'm hopefully I don't have to sweat too much. And now, thanks to Devontae, and he has Josh Allen. So Josh Allen had like 40 points
at
halftime. I mean, it was crazy. So
2 passing, 2 rushing touchdowns.
I think Cakes is going to win, Mike. Good news.
Cakes?
Yeah, he's got Josh Allen.
Oh, okay. Did we tell him to start Josh Allen?
We didn't need to. I mean,
I would hope not. I was contemplating in that league starting Taysom Hill over Josh Allen because he has Stephon Diggs, and I didn't want him stealing all my points. Well, Stephon Diggs had 20-something points for 28 points for my opponent, but Josh Allen scored 38, so I was still happy because Adams and Rodgers were kind of down. And I started Lazard in my flex and stole some edge because he outscored Adams tonight.
He did? I haven't looked at anything. I didn't watch the game.
I think he only scored 8, but Adams only scored 7. So I was really happy with the result.
What is that? That half-point PPR?
Yeah. Standard.
Yeah, sorry to bring the mood down, guys. Merry Christmas. I just got done working, and fantasy's not going the way I want it to go. But beyond all that, what's going on? What are you guys? You guys are
my Thunderdome lineup. I think the only ones I didn't cover were my wide receiver 2 and 3, Russell Gage and Darnell Mooney. I'm basically just trying to razor blade cut him to death with PPR points. So I pretty much went all the guys that are going to be underpriced, going to get 10 targets, and just needles to death. I just want to torture him. And the little cherry on top is I picked CeeDee Lamb in the flex just to shove it in space.
Bro. So did you guys do that podcast already tonight?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't listen to Thunderdome. Yeah.
So what you guys? You every Saturday you do a podcast before this and then you do this?
No.
Nope.
Every Saturday I do Discord podcast on Discord for the fantasy football Discord, and then I do the DFS money shot with a guest. Last week, Bo filled in for me because my guest at the end of the time he could not. He doesn't have he doesn't have access to DraftKings. He didn't tell me that originally, so it was a little bit of a hiccup, and so Bo jumped in. But this is what we do every week. Every single week we do the fast hard finish, except for last week because Bo was out Christmas lighting and I fell asleep at 1 o'clock. It was just too late Eastern time for me.
Oh, you were Christmas lighting? What does that mean? You were putting lights on your house?
No, he was looking at it.
I was driving around with my family, and we were looking at all the fancy light displays.
We do that too, Bo. We call it when I was a little kid, we would call it the pajama rides. We get like in our onesie or our and we go. I had 5 brothers and sisters in my family, so 6 of us. We get in this big van, drive all around our county, look at lights, and we go to McDonald's, get a ice cream cone. So
that's exactly what we did. We went to McDonald's, got fries and ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you do. We're going to do it with London. So when you guys were doing that, I was cool. I was just on the couch, like I'm barely hanging on. Okay, I'm so
at least you got to see the cool house that we came across. Had like
really?
a million lights. This is a tiny little house with a little tiny yard, but it was every inch was lit up.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Do you do it on yours?
Yeah, we have lights up. Pretty basic setup this year because it's just been super busy. We have our lights around the trim of upstairs and downstairs, and some icicles around the garage. Pretty basic, but we usually have a bunch of shit in the yard, like reindeer and all that other stuff lit up. But we just didn't want to do it this year.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I always wonder.
So dark out, it's depressing. Like we have to drive miles and miles to find lights because nobody's doing it. Like it's so few and far between.
See, everybody in my neighborhood does it, man. Like we just walk the neighborhood. We don't have to go very far. It's cool for us. We have up like a wreath from our whole crescendo that when you come into the house, we have a porch with like a little not screened in, but like a little over the overhang. All that is crescendoed with wreath and then lights, and then the whole tree is done up with lights. And there's big ornaments hung in the tree, and so we have the Christmas tree in the back out. You can see it coming through back. So we're forwards or backwards. We're lit up. Our neighbors are lit up on both sides of us too.
Our inside is really decorated. Like our inside has more lights than our outside. We just have the basic lights outside, but inside, like you can see our tree through our front door because we have like a big window on the front door, and then we have 2 big bay windows on either side. So you can, if you're on the street looking into our house, you see the tree all lit up. And there's a bunch of crap everywhere, just literal crap everywhere. The cat's coughing up ribbon every day. It's it's fun.
Oh, my house is just so filthy. Before I jumped on with you guys, I wanted to eat some food because I just finished up work, and I watched that Andrew Schultz on Netflix, his new thing that came out, and dude, it was like the thing that has made me laugh so hard more than anything. He does. I don't know if you've seen it, Bo. Jesse, Scott hit me to it. So there's like 4 different episodes. I'm on the second one, which is conspiracies, and he goes, remember when we all thought people were, crazy for saying that the NSA spies on everything we do? And now we know that everything, and then he does this thing where it like fakes it out, like
spying on you?
Well, no, like there's something wrong with your computer, and so right as they're saying, but we all know that they're spying on you, like it gets like but it looks so it's part just like anything you'd see, like all of a sudden your TV's making a circle, and then he creeps on the screen. And he's like, I'm just joking with you, but he's like, but now that I'm here. He's like, he starts looking around. He's like, man, this place looks like shit. He's like looking at your house. And I started laughing so hard because I was like, man, my house looks like such shit right now, dude.
True.
So funny.
I was offended because my house looked great. I cleaned up my basement. Listen, I'll give you the fucking tour.
He wasn't talking to you, fucktard.
I was so jealous. I knew that there was people out there that didn't work on. But for me, it worked so good. I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it really looked like he was looking at my house.
Anybody with a house in shambles, like right now, like myself and Mike. It's for almost everybody, it's relatable. And then for Scott, he's like, how dare you?
You sons of well, here's the reason why. Because the cleaners are always coming. And so I always have to keep the basement clean. And then this was crazy. When the cleaners were part of my life, I cleaned way less. Now that we have cleaners who come to my house, every couple of days it was like, you better clean up, the cleaners are coming. I'm like, oh, God damn it. So I clean my area, clean as shit. And in case you're wondering, this is where I sleep every weekend. I abandoned my upstairs to the downstairs where a man should live on the weekend. And I sleep right over here. That's my bed right there. I got a bunch of pillows, soft blankets. I bought them at Costco. Rose goes, I don't know. I don't think we need these blankets. And I go, we will this year. She goes, why? I'm like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. The old ones are gone. The new ones are here. And so my bed is decked out with soft Costco blankets. It's just, I've been playing. Yeah. So for him to do that, I did feel personally judged because I'm like, Andrew, I respect you enough. You're clean cut enough for me to never address you like that. I'm fully looking hot as shit right now. I'm the best looking Scott all week just to watch your show. I'm wearing shoes in my basement, motherfucker. So
it's not my mom's basement. It's my basement.
I live here. I will die here.
I didn't know if I didn't think about you when I watched it, but I just remember thinking, that I'm so jealous that joke isn't going to work on some people. I wish I was one of those people, but man, I honestly felt like it was so funny to me because I was like, is this real? Is he really in the like he looked at all the right spots? I was like, my house is garbage.
You have a way better house than me too, which is
nailed it.
My house is a dump. I mean, it's just we clean it up every now and then. It takes about 8 hours to do it. It's so time consuming, and then
you got over there.
It's within hours. It doesn't look like we did anything within hours.
Well, you
within
have
hours.
Kids,
you're a parent of a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
A 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my 3-year-old son.
He's about to be 4 in like a month and a half. So like he's almost
he's hard
enough to be.
That's
4.
right. He's almost 4.
He's almost 4. Yeah, he's 4. To me, he's 4. Like he is about to be a 4-year-old.
Yeah. He's like a gypsy. I mean, I'm telling you,
little dirtbag.
He literally takes. He moves piles from here to there, and they're all these weird little important things to him. And he just slowly throughout my house, he makes just junk piles.
He's got his little trinkets.
Yes. He's got all these weird little trinkets, these little toys. He's got the
charging you €10 for a hand braided bracelet out of a recycled milk jug liners, and you got a gypsy.
And I try and teach him to clean up too. Sometimes he'll do it, but a lot of times this is what he says. He goes, I'm too tired. I'm too tired.
You're 4. You're not even 4.
Bro, you're just running around the house. You're not too tired. He's already pulling I'm too tired on me.
Hey, I hate to tell you this, but I think you got a little psychopath running around your house. A 3-year-old psycho's like, I'm tired. I'm not doing shit.
Yeah.
Like, sociopath. You don't give a fuck about you. Oh, we're gonna fuck this house up, sell you some trinkets, and go to bed.
I mean, that is what he does. So
yeah,
I would do this. It would be hilarious. I would film him like a documentary and be like, "Hey man, how you feeling? You feeling good? You feeling good? You got a lot of energy? You're good. Okay." And like him running around, and then like, "Hey man, can
clean
you
up the house?
I'd be like, "No, I'm too tired." And then like, "Okay,
you should be."
Yeah, okay.
Spent 2 hours going through the house like a tornado, you
Right, of
idiot.
course. Right. And then afterwards, film him running around again. And then film him watching it. And you being like,
3 minutes later.
this is when you said you were too tired. And 7 seconds later, here's you jumping off the couch and running around. You know, and just see what he does. Yeah, the cognitive dissonance is going to be great either way, because he's going to lie or he's going to like just make something up. And he's hilarious.
None of that's gonna do anything.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, no.
My daughter's almost
But that's the
8,
thing is that I mean
Yeah.
he's bad, but then you have my daughter too, and it's like she's even worse. He might clean something up. I'll tell you what, if you want to really be mean to somebody, you know, like a friend that you don't like, you know, and you want to get them a present, get them a bunch of those balls that they have at Chuck E. Cheese, because your kids love them.
Yep.
So you put them in some sort of bin, you know, and there's probably, I could find a ball right now right by my foot in my office that's locked. They're all over our house. These stupid Chuck E. Cheese balls. They're everywhere.
Made of COVID.
So my nephew is 5, and this kid is full. He's not special needs or anything, but needs a helmet. With like put in parentheses, Michael is his name, needs a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
This kid, I've seen this kid fall down 4 stairs, land on his head on hardwood, and get up without breaking stride and run off into the distance. Like, what the hell just happened, you crazy kid? You're probably bleeding out the ears from what I just saw, and it didn't even faze him. And he loves anything fire truck or police car. His dad, my brother-in-law, is a 911 dispatcher. So this kid's obsessed with first responders. And so we get him every year. Like, he's like quintessential boy, 5 years old. Every 3 straight years since he's starting to play with real toys, we've gotten him the noisiest ambulance, fire truck, police cars, like big honking things, like 150 decibel sirens on them, and just give them to him. Like, hey, Merry Christmas, dude.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
My brother-in-law just looks at me like, you motherfucker. Every year for his birthday, for Christmas, we get him the loudest fucking toys just to fucking jab it.
This is a hand grenade. It's called a hand grenade.
We turn our chime for when our doors open, we turn our chime on because this kid's such an idiot that he's smart. He's dumb enough where he's going to run out our back door and just run into the pool, which it's insane how this kid is afraid of everything, but he doesn't have any awareness of anything either. So I can totally picture, we literally had to turn the chime on our doors opening because of him. We got an umbrella insurance policy for our homeowner insurance because of him. My 8-year-old daughter is the most cautious little thing. She's playing her little Switch all day long. She's on her Chromebook playing Minecraft all day. She doesn't do anything other than crafts and games. She doesn't run around, doesn't destroy the house. She's petting the cat. She's being quiet. And then her cousin is running through the house with no helmet, even though he needs one, and crashing into shit. He's here for 2 hours. We're watching him, and our house looks like a bomb went off, like Hiroshima. And we're like, yeah, you're getting another noisy toy for Christmas.
You're getting a bullhorn.
And that kid would play it for hours and hours. I mean, his dad, my brother-in-law, has literally said, hey, the rule is if the battery's died, the toy's broken. It doesn't work anymore.
My kids still are so young too. I don't understand why I don't just take all these damn toys, wrap them up, and give it to them for Christmas, because they won't know. They'll just be like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, I've seen this before."
And they'll probably play with the box more anyway.
Yeah, they love boxes for sure. My son's finally. This is the first year where he's really starting to pay attention to holidays. So it's been
look at that. Hot box.
It's been fun.
I know that logo. So what Scott is doing is it's what an addict does. He's got hot box around his mouth. He's got hot box up his nostrils. Hotboxbatch.com is in his favorites next to the midget porn. It's an
man?
addiction.
How do you know?
I pegged you.
I told you about the midget porn, but I didn't tell you about you. You know,
If I can predict how many points you're going to score every week in DFS, I can predict your search history. Yeah, midget porn and hotboxbatch.com. It
makes me feel big. I'm a little guy, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, in the Thunderdome, I think I have I think I'll sleep well tonight if I even sleep at all. I'm not a huge sleeper on Saturday nights anyway. But if I was going to go to sleep, I would sleep pretty merrily tonight because my lineup is solid as a rock. Scott might be fidgeting around, wondering if Sammy Watkins is going to tweak a hammy in the first drive, or if he's going to see my Cowboys actually put up a fight against my hated 49ers. I hate the 49ers with a fiery passion, and it's Cowboys 49ers week, which means that my wife and I are not going to speak.
Well, I was going to ask you, what does she feel about Saturday football? How'd that go?
Well, she took my daughter to my mom's house for the weekend. My mom was like, "Hey, I can cook surf and turf like we do every year, but because of all the COVID shit going on, how about you either come down after work, which I worked a half day today, and I would have driven up about 90 minutes to my mom's ranch, and I would have been in charge of cooking because that's the standard. Is we do surf and turf for our Christmas party. It's the filet mignon and big giant prawns and lobster, and she puts me in charge of the cooking. She's either do that, which is what we usually do, or you can drop off Addison, and I'll drop her off on Sunday afternoon." And I was like, so I either have to cook for 2 straight hours this gourmet meal and then be exhausted driving back for football Sunday, or I can have my wife, while I'm at work, drive all the way up there for me, drop off my daughter, come back without her, and we have a kid-free weekend. I'm going to smash that last button.
Oh, honey.
So my wife came back a couple hours ago with literally the biggest gift basket I've ever seen from my mom. And in that basket was a cold paper bag full of filet mignon and giant prawns. So I get to cook that on my own time. And I don't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to drive anywhere. All I did was come home from work, and I had a giant gift basket full of stuff and gifts. And it's amazing. It's all the best things are a kid-free weekend with football on both days. So when I got home, I had football on, I had gifts, I had food, I had everything. And my daughter is not here. She's having fun on the ranch.
So your mom has a ranch?
Yeah.
What's on the ranch?
Right now, nothing. It's like mostly like we did alfalfa for a while lately. But when I was growing up, we had pretty much every type of animal out there.
Really?
That ranch is only 10 acres, but my dad was a caretaker of a 4,000 acre hunting ranch where they raised cattle and horses and everything. But my mom,
you're a hunter, aren't you?
I haven't hunted in a long time, but yeah, when I was a kid into my teenage years, I was hunting everything. I was out there. I was outdoors all the time. I would pitch a tent and spend a weekend in my tent on the piers, fishing off the bank of a private pond. I would shoot squirrels, catch snakes, like pretty much all that Davy Crockett shit that you see in the movies. That was me when I was 13.
Huh. Oh, that's cool. So you haven't done it in a while?
No, I mean adulthood's been pretty corporate for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I just wondered, since you're a cook too, if I don't know, can't get more farm to table than that. You know what I mean?
Sacramento here. I live 10 minutes from Sacramento. Sacramento is the farm to fork capital of the world. It's like every restaurant is farm to fork in Sacramento, just about. If you're not, then you're at a disadvantage, because if you can't claim, hey, we got this from our own personal farm or this specific local farm that everybody knows about. I mean, they're gonna be like, "Where'd you get your food, huh? Where'd you get it? It's not fresh, is it? Definitely not fresh as this place. It's your rival. It's pretty cutthroat, but there's farms everywhere."
Cool.
So, like that meat that she gave you, is that from?
It's from the Chico State Farm, which has the best
really?
USDA prime beef in California. It's just incredible, and you can actually go and pick out the steer that they butcher for you.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds yummy.
It's the best. We're talking grass-fed, organic beef, Black Angus breed, the best there is.
So you don't do any more like shooting deer or anything like that?
Not for a long time. I used to do it every summer and fall. We'd have special tags for private property. We'd have the general zone tags for hunting and harvesting bucks, and that was kind of what everybody did in my town. My hometown's 7,000 people, so it was like if you didn't go buck hunting, you weren't anything.
Yeah, like nobody hunts from where we're from.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, even where I'm from, it's a lot more populated than it was when I grew up. Like, you have a lot more people, and so if you have more people, you don't have as many animals, you don't have as much wildlife, and so you have to go more and more remote off the grid to do that hunting.
Yeah, we grew up in a county where it's just one giant suburb. I mean, it's the whole thing.
Yep.
So we didn't grow up doing that. I mean, my wife's family, my father-in-law is a big hunter, and I want to get into it, but I've never done it. I actually went and got my license and all that, and I still have never gone out. So
yeah.
I just want to get it for food.
When you're a kid, it's great. When you're an adult, it's just a way to get drunk and pass the time without getting nagged on.
I just want food. I want free meat.
Right.
You know, I mean, you can get a bunch of meat.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not free. You still have to go and get it butchered, but I mean, it's worth it because the meat you get it's the best. It's fresh as ever because you're taking it out of the field. You're saying, hey, I'm the one that provided this for my family. I went and I tracked this sucker down, and
it doesn't even cost that much to get them all like cut up and stuff. But my father-in-law will do it. If I went with him, and he would just carve it all up, give me whatever.
And that's the part that I love the most. Is I grew up in a kitchen, so I know my way around butchering and breaking things down. My grandpa was a butcher, so we would often be able to break down our own animals, and it was cool because I can look back and say, hey, when I was young, I acquired a skill that most people never get.
Yeah, right. I don't know anything about an animal. I don't know.
It's a survival tactic.
The loin?
I want to be able to, if shit hits the fan, if a shit hits the fan, I want to be the guy that be like, everybody's like, what do we do, Bo?
Yeah.
Like you find the high ground like a fucking any other wild animal, and you become a wild animal so you can live.
Yeah.
We're at the top of the food chain for a reason. We're getting soft, but we're still up there.
Oh, I'm so soft. I barely ever even make we barely ever even cook here. Most of the meals we get are like Chipotle or Cava. Yeah. Do you guys have Cava out there?
No, I don't think so, but we definitely have Chipotle, and we have something called Freebirds, which is like a Chipotle competitor, and they're better than Chipotle.
Wait till you guys get Cava. It's awesome.
Is that with a C or a K?
It's with a C. It's C-A-V-A. It's Greek. It's kind of like a Greek
hero.
Well, no, it's kind of like a Greek Chipotle deal. You go through and you go through and you do the line, and oh man, it's just
we have what's called pita pit, which is like that sort of thing where you get your pita wraps with just about any kind of filling. They have a local chain called Pita Pit that I lived on in Chico when I was going to Chico State. Like if you were eating in the middle of the day, it was either Pita Pit or it was the burrito place that was family owned, Tacos de Acapulco. And they had the best burritos. They would give you the biggest 3-pound burrito for like $4 because it's a college town and everything's cheap. you'd get a pitcher of cocktail, like instead of a single cocktail on certain nights of the week in Chico, you could get an entire 64-ounce pitcher of a particular cocktail for $4.
Wow.
And so, yes, all the stories you've heard about Chico State are entirely true and probably undersold.
Huh.
Bethany, Sacktown. Yeah, Freebirds is definitely better than Chipotle. It's just fresher. They're not going to give you a baked potato in a small piece of foil. No, nobody's going to be the Door Dashers aren't going to be taking bites out of it.
No. So I have a question for you boys. You guys want to build a millionaire lineup?
Yes, that's what I'm here for, guys. This is my show, but I still want to do a lineup build.
I've got it.
I haven't done one in a while with anybody on live.
Let's build it. Let's build it for $1 million right now, Bo. You're the architect of this.
So, did either of you read my surprisingly spicy stacks yet?
No, because I'm not allowed to ingest any content that's not my own this week, Bo. You know the rules.
Okay, Gandhi.
Dude, I was
working. Have your water and bread tomorrow.
I didn't do any type of DFS stuff this week. I didn't read anything. I didn't build any lineups.
You can find mine and Scott's articles at nimblewnumbers.com, but my surprisingly spicy stacks are on hammercast.com, and that's where I get really creative. That's my art form. Like all this, then when you're building lineups, it's a numbers game. You're looking for value. You're looking for scarcity. It's a lot like the stock market. If you break it down just to values, the players are just different stock options. You're looking at different prices. You're looking at different values and scarcities for each position. It's a very simple numbers game. But when you're looking for something like a tournament build where you're just like basically buying a lottery ticket, it's a quick pick. They're throwing random numbers at you. You're not going to be able to feel comfortable with the winner of the Millie Maker. Like I guarantee you the Millie Maker that I paid attention to last, where I actually looked up what the champion did. It was 2 weeks ago, and he had Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry. And those were two players that I faded that week, which that means if I fade that person, I was never going to play them even in a 10-cent lineup. And I faded Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield that week because I didn't think they could back it up. And not only did they back it up, but they stepped it up. And so you can't feel good about a Millie Maker build. I want to feel queasy about it. In a cash game, you want to feel supremely confident. If you're trying to say, okay, in a cash game of 50-50, I want the safest floor of volume to get 3x at every position and 4x at quarterback. I want to feel so good about that lineup that at worst, I'm a coin flip away from winning and doubling up. In the GPP, it's a complete opposite. I want to feel like shit about it. I want to say, oh, that's gross. That's the one that's going to win. And so surprisingly spicy stacks is where I say, I'm going to come up with the grossest, nastiest, most off-the-wall combinations, but they're plausible. Like you can still envision something crazy happening where they pop off, they're the ones that break the slate, and then you're filling in your potentially chalky picks in around them so that you can really smash it.
So who do you like in those spicy stacks you mentioned, surprisingly spicy stacks?
So the two quarterback and receiver stacks that I used were the Mullins, Ayuk, and Wilson stack, and then a Rivers, Hines, and Hilton stack. And the Rivers, Hines, and Hilton stack isn't as spicy because Hilton's going to be chalky, but Rivers and Hines won't be.
So if we put Rivers, Hines, and Hilton, we're at 25% ownership. That's not bad for three players.
I'm surprised Hilton's not more than 10%. That's actually pretty good. I was expecting Hilton to be around, but I was expecting Hilton to be around 15, which means that I'm happy to see a number under 10. But I expected Hines to be where he is and Rivers to be where he is. So that's actually above what I thought. And Taylor is going to be too chalky for my liking, especially for how expensive he is this week, even though I expect him to have a pretty solid game.
Mike, any running backs to stand out to you that you'd like to check out the ownership position on, or how much focus have been on it?
I mean,
and so Scott, before he says that, sorry to interrupt again. I'm an interrupter, according to my wife. I like to cut in and offer my thoughts while they're on my tongue. I don't like to hold things in. I like to run that Colt stack back with either Cooks or Kute.
I like Kute personally. What do you think, Mike?
Well, he was a fade for me. So.
Oh, my God.
Cooks is the guy I feel queasy about, which in a tournament, I kind of like it.
Do you like Cooks, Mike?
Yeah, I do. He's got a better matchup at the corner.
I like it. So,
although Kute is less owned, I'm actually surprised by that. But Cooks at 6,000 is not a bad price, and 8.8 is not going to break the ownership bank either.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we have 2 wide receivers. We need a running back and a wide receiver. Where are we heading? Which team?
I want to see the running back ownership on this site because Occupy is usually pretty close. A lot of these ownership sites I don't even look at because they're not. If I look back at what they actually turned out to be in the tournament that I've entered, it wasn't that close. So Henry, Taylor, Cook, Kamara, yeah, that's all standard. Swift, DeAndre Swift would be my choice for a tournament.
Oh wow!
By the looks of it, 6,400 is too rich for somebody's blood out there. What do you think about Swift, Collins?
1.6.
Yeah. So I'm down with some Swift.
I like Swift a lot this week, especially when in a script where they're chasing.
Yeah, because I did such a crazy amount of research this week. I had a slow day at work because it's leading up to Christmas and people are spending their money elsewhere, not on hearing aids. I was able to look at my data that I found where my cash game lineups were very spend down at wide receiver because of that $5,000 tier being so loaded with value. And then also spending up at running back and spending up at tight end because I want to have Hawkinson, I want to have Andrews, and I want to have Kelsey this week. The spend down options are okay, but I feel more comfortable spending up this week because the matchups are pretty good. But in a tournament, what I was finding is everybody else saw the same thing. Everybody that I read was saying, hey, spend up at running back and tight end and spend down at wide receiver this week. It seems crazy, but this is the week to do it. And I was like, shit. I thought I was being novel here, and I wasn't. So in a tournament, we're going to have to be contrarian by the way we spend our money.
Kelsey's almost turning into an auto start at tight end because
he's
a wide receiver.
He's the number one. He's the number 3 wide receiver. If he just changes position on the surface, he's wide receiver 3.
Right.
He leads the league in receiving yards.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And so if you say 8,000, he's wide receiver 5 in pricing.
Right.
So
it's worth it.
And you're spending up for a tight end, but as wide receiver goes, he's right in that group.
He's a wide. I mean, it's like paying for Devontae Adams at 8,000. I mean, and
yeah.
You're doing it at tight end.
If I'm saying there's an automatic tight end play, it's Kelsey, of course, but then this week it's also Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see the ownership on Andrews because I think a lot of people are going to try to fit Kelsey in. Like I can see there, 13.1 is really high.
Andrews 8.3.
Yeah, and anything under 10 is pretty good if you're spending up.
Mm. So what
13 for a spend up, I'm going to fade that.
So do you want to not have Kelsey then?
No, don't put Kelsey in there because if I'm spending up, I want it to be novel. I don't want to. If he doesn't hit value, then you're fucked.
So is 8.3 novel enough, or do you want to go to Hawkinson at 4.3?
Hawkinson's a whole 300 less. That's not a big difference, though. Who do you feel better about? Because game flow for Andrews might come into play.
Yeah, I feel like the Hawkinson will be behind the whole game. They'll need to throw the ball the whole game. So
yeah, and I believe Stafford is trending upward, and he's a tough motherfucker. Like he played with a broken back last year, so broken ribs is not gonna deter him from playing.
Do you mind that we've got Swift and Hawkinson in this build? We've got double.
Not at all. Not at all.
I like it. Collins, what about you? Any wide receivers or Hawkinson? What do you think about this?
Because if you didn't play Hawkinson, I was going to have you put Marvin Jones in there.
I mean, Hawkinson, he's always good for at least 10. So it just depends. You know, like you said, they're going to be behind in that game. So I like it.
Hawkinson's been money lately too.
Yeah. Who's a wide receiver that you like, Collins?
I don't know. Good at wide receivers.
Okay.
Collins has been the wide receiver whisperer the last couple times we built on this show. So
have I?
Yeah.
Have I been?
I keep receipts in my noggin up here. The Santa hat saves all the receipts from Collins and Simpson's picks here. I'll never forget him winning 2,900 in week 2 on Jordan Reed. That was a motherfucker move, man.
Thank you.
He scored 28.9 that week or something crazy, and you're just like, all right.
Okay. all right.
That was your 255 that you put up there, and that was sexy.
I like Cooper Kupp.
I still get hard thinking about Scott's lineup in week 2.
Yeah.
Like it just makes me so giddy to think about 255 points in any week. Like you could do that once in your lifetime and still look back and be like, remember week 2, 2020? Remember?
Yeah, because he had the Colts.
Of course I fucking remember.
He had the Colts D, and they had 2 defensive touchdowns too.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was still my most profitable week of the season too.
I've been the most money myself at picking defenses and tight ends this year. Honestly, if you want to like really evaluate myself, I've been pretty good at those. So
Scott, since you are the tight end whisperer, do you put your stamp of approval on Hawkenhouse, as you call him?
I do, and I think it's because they're going to be down the whole game. I think this is a game where it's going to be 45 or 42-21, and if Hawkinson gets a touchdown, 7 receptions, 80 yards,
and we're talking in the Millie Maker to hit 230 to 250 plus. You need touchdowns. You need lots of them.
Yeah, you do.
I think it was 2 weeks ago when I had my second most profitable week. Or what was it, 3 or 4 weeks ago when Scott and I were on the same page with just about everything, and we were just watching. We had like 7 touchdowns in the first half of the early games.
Crazy.
And we're just like ching, and our afternoon games weren't that great, but it was exciting to watch all the guys we were high on just pop touchdowns.
Yeah. We have to pay down at wide receiver to be able to kind of figure out our flex and defense. Who is a nice dart throw you like at wide receiver this week, Bo?
Well, we didn't get Collins.
I said Cooper Kupp, but he might be too expensive for the bill.
Yeah, he's up there at 7,000, I think.
He might be, but we can try to put him in and see what we have left.
Let me go look at my.
Let's put a defense in. Bo, what do you like on defense this week?
I'm going to play up to 4 different defenses. My spend up is the Rams, obviously, but I don't think we want to go that route here. I like the Cardinals.
How much for DJ Chark?
53 or 52.
Put the Cardinals in, and then we have 57 left. Actually,
Scott, I like your idea better. Do the Washington defense.
Okay.
Because we both were on them last week, and that was a smash.
Yes, it was. That was a great thing to be on as a team.
I just love that you played Washington against me, and I still won. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, this is every other lineup I had except for that one had Washington in it, and then you had him and I didn't. I was like, oh no, this is bad. And they had the scoop and score and the pick 6, and I was like, oh no, oh yes, oh no. Yes.
It was fun. It was a fun game. So here we are. We're at 6,000 in our flex. So we're starting. Ronald Jones is out, of course.
Yeah.
We're starting here at Dobbins, and then we're going down.
Dobbins is sexy this week. Good Lord.
We have no current action in that game, and that game is going to pop.
Yeah, I love Dobbins.
What do you think, Collins?
Sure. I'll roll with it.
Look at the ownership. It's 65%, 60%. That's
and
great.
It kind of makes you queasy with Cooks in there and Cup in there. I mean, Cooper Cup is our chalk option there. Like everybody's off chalk except for Cooper Cup. And I don't have any problem with that because Woods is a little banged up. He's going to play, but we're talking the Rams matchup this week is so sexy.
Yeah, I played Philip Rivers last week. I stacked him with guess who? T.Y. Hilton, and I won some
huge.
It doesn't mean it has to happen again, but it does portend to good. These guys are connecting. They're getting on the same wavelength. So I'm into that, particularly myself. Got to remember the lineup that we made here as we do it.
This is just up there. I mean, we're fading the spend up options at running back that are going to be very popular, and I still think we have the same upside as those guys, and we're able to spend up elsewhere. The upside's all across the board here.
Yeah, I like.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I mean, I don't see any guys that are going to just kind of like PPR cash game play. Like I don't want to feel good about the floor here. I want to be like, hey, I'm hopeful for the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially with Cooks. I think Cooks is one of these guys, if he gets behind the defense, he could really do some damage this week, particularly.
And that's what killed the Colts. The Colts underneath just shut everybody down. They shut running backs down. They shut tight ends down. They shut slot receivers down. They're tough on quarterbacks, but they get beaten deep. I mean, their corners are man-to-man press guys, so they're really tough on the short and intermediate routes. But if you get a guy that slips behind that cover two that they run, it's fireworks, and that's Cook.
Well, here's the thing. I'm putting in $50 in the Million Maker this week. So here's what we need to do.
5 bullets.
Yeah, I've got 5 bullets because I'm having fun. And so I need to actually draft some more of these. So let's do another one.
Possible winnings, $1.2 million.
Yeah, man, you can't fuck around. You got to do this. Oh, here we go. I got 4 of them right here. Let's draft one of them right now. Let's do another one. Let's do a Mike Collins led one, and then we'll do a Scott led one. So Mike, I'm gonna let you.
I'm gonna have to change my pants. Simpson.
Listen, this is the thing about it. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Mazel Tov. This is your lineup. Do whatever you want. It's okay that you haven't prepped this week. Go with what you think you know. I'm cool with it, man. This is just fun.
It's a Millie Maker. He doesn't have to know shit.
I'm in to hang out with my best fucking friends on a Saturday night, and this is what I would do for free, for nothing. I'd pay to be like, hey, will you pay them?
I will preface this. I'm going.
We do the research for cash games. There's no research involved in a tournament.
I know, but at least still, I'm going to give my disclaimer. I have not done anything fantasy since Monday because I've just been so busy. So this is just going off the top of the dome with just little bits of whatever that's sort of.
Shout out to both of you guys as the fantasy football millionaires. The Fantasy Millionaires show on Monday nights is my favorite podcast. Period.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
It really is.
It means a lot to me.
There's a reason why I'm your top super fan. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, wow.
And it's not even.
We love you so much. You're part of the show. I mean,
I'm 3 times higher than second place.
You drive the content so often too, dude. Like it's really cool when you're. It's like your third mic with the the chat.
Oh,
I mean, you're always sparking stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather be in the chat just lurking around and throwing out quips than even being on camera.
I love it.
I love it too.
I would love to join you guys one time, but I mean, my role in that show is in the chat.
Yeah, you're the man.
I told Rose, I said, I love that Bo is in the chat. I said, because it's like he's in the show. Because I'll say my thought, Michael say his, and then Bo will be like, I don't like that, or I like this. And then it'll give a good little talking point that we can pivot off of.
I'll throw shade at Scott because I kick his ass again on the Thunderdome. Like, hey, Scott, how did the Thunderdome go?
Yeah, man, you've been rolling hard with the Fantasy Millionaire since the beginning too. I mean, I remember right when we started, like doing the preseason shows, you were in the chat with just good data, good information. I was like, this guy's cool, man. Yeah.
Well, I know I'm cool, but I'm pretty square. But it comes down to it. I like shows that are entertaining, and I like shows that teach me something. And as much fantasy information as I pretend to have, I still learn something when I watch the show. So it's good.
Gracias. Yep, that's all we're trying to do.
Yep. So now hit me with your DFS millionaire lineup, Mr. Fantasy Millionaire.
Okay. Cash Collins, just flowing off the top of the dome. I'm gonna go Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, God, it came. I just came. Thank you.
I like that a lot. Murray is one of my plays of the week. I like that so much.
I locked that value in a few tournament builds myself. So I'm so happy you did that.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna go. Let's just look at my Monday notes. What's DJ Chark at?
52 or 53, something.
Yeah, go with DJ Chark then.
Yeah, lock DJ Chark in because Minshew's back. And he only knows how to look left. It's like a NASCAR driver. He can only turn left.
Okay.
Oh, man.
His mustache is heavier on the left.
It leans.
Yeah.
So
when you take off his chin strap, there's just more mustache.
Bud Lights are in there.
Yeah. Crispy boys. 5,000 even for Chark.
Go to running backs. Let me look.
Chark is 5,000 even, guys.
That's crazy.
Well, he hasn't done shit in 5 weeks, so I mean,
that's true.
It's a great value though. Bounce back play, supreme if he does something. Because remember, I think early in the season he was close to 7,000. I think he hit 68 a couple of times. 65 was his top. Okay.
Close.
Yeah. 65 down to 5,000.
This is his cheapest by far, though. He's never been this low before. He's 63, 65, 63, 62. That's a nice little drop off. I like it.
Yeah, like we haven't seen double digits in 2 months from him, so I'm
all right. I want Kelsey at tight end.
Kelsey at tight end.
We're spending money, baby.
Yeah, we're spending money.
Hey, what did I tell you, Scott? I told you right in the beginning of the week. I didn't know you were doing your Gandhi thing.
Yeah.
At that point, but I said right out loud in the chat, I was like, this week is stars and scrubs.
Yes. I agreed with it too. And it informed my process a bit, but I shunned it as a great evil that I too came across, and I believed upon the truth of it. Because there's going to be opportunity. That's what it's all about. It's about opportunity. You're chasing opportunity, and there's opportunity for both.
So all I can picture now is I just watched last week on Netflix. I watched Anger Management, and all I can think about is John C. Reilly as the monk in Anger Management. When I picture you doing your whole cleanse of information this week, so that you can play only your own thoughts and like some kind of spiritual awakening. And then you just turn into the bully as soon as you get pushed around. You talk about your special needs sister getting bonked around. I think I can crack you, Scott. I think I can crack you, and you're gonna read my shit before the off tomorrow.
I'm gonna show you what I was doing this week real quick because this is.
I don't want to see your midget porn, Scott.
Hey, this is what I did this week. Hold on, I'm gonna stop the screen share. This is a video of me relaxing downstairs in my basement, and I put on the music. You can see I have on the thing on my neck that helps me to It's like the, I don't know, the massager, massaging my back, just doing that. This is what I was doing today. This is what I've been doing all week, just trying to relax and do a little chill, time by myself and that's what I did while I sought the mountaintop of who to play and what not to do. And, so meditation,
quick question on that little band thing that you had on your hands and around your neck. Does that help your posture too?
No. Here you go. Watch, you'll see.
Oh, it's a massager. Okay.
Oh yeah. And
what's that? Homedics brand?
Yes. And so, I mean,
nice.
Oh yeah. And so I was doing it all over,
lovely,
all over my whole back. And
for about $50, I got to get one.
15 minutes of heaven in that little short span of 24 seconds. And I went and did my whole back, and then I cracked it all. And yeah, I mean, it gets deep in, and I'll get mean. I'll go right, tough. You pull it, the harder you pull, and I just, cut off circulation.
Tell me where you got it. Where did you get it, and how much?
I think my dad bought it for me like 2 years ago, and it might have been at Sam's Club. But
that's okay.
I'll look for it. It's really, it really gets down. Mike knows, honestly, I could do that for about 15 minutes, or I could take the crab claws out and I could just go to work like this. And I figured out why Mike always.
I shouldn't say this out loud, but I do go into Sam's Club to find rare bourbons at a really low price. Because in California, you don't need a membership to buy alcohol.
In Maryland, they don't even sell bourbons in anywhere. I mean, except for like a liquor store. Yeah, well, Mike always wondered why I had crab claws back in the day when I would always try to give him a massage and stuff. It's for my neck, man. God made them for me to attack myself. And I know it now. And I do. I just got 17 cracks in my neck. It feels great. Just go a little, boom, 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 crush it out.
I'm going to look that up on Amazon and just order it.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't on my Christmas list, and I'm not going to get it by Christmas.
Dude, it's sexy. I just put it on for a couple of seconds, and I got 15 cracks. So.
Oh man, there's
nothing. We get back to Mike's build because I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
I like when you crack and you can breathe real deep, real deep, oh my gosh, so much deep in the breath.
Stop it, Scott. You're turning me on. I love cracking the back.
I love it, man. It's one of my favorite things to do is to crack it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been going to a chiropractor since I was 7 years old. So
I am my own chiropractor. Yeah. I broke my chair that day. I was pushing up on it to give myself the vertical straight line. And then the whole arm just went, I went, that was great. I was really glad to do that.
You got to run more 3-cone drills.
You know what? I'm going to shout out Steffi Smalls. Today, one of the funniest things happened on Twitter today. Steffi Smalls said, somebody said, how small are you? And she
my God, that was the creepiest question ever.
I know. And first of all, she said 5 inches instead of 5 feet tall, which was hilarious. Yeah. So she
Polly Pocket.
Yeah, she put 5 inch, and then she put 102 pounds. And so then I tweeted and I said, I am 2.34 Steffies. And so then she tweeted something like, I want Bill Nye. Can we petition Bill Nye to make Steffies a unit of measurement? And then I chimed in yeah, for example, I need to lose a bunch of Steffies this year, And so we kept going back and forth just as a joke. But push comes to shove, I was teasing her because she's little, and I said I could still thoroughly defeat her in the three cone drill. I would crush her, no question about it. And
she'd be 15 White Claws in, and you would just beat her because she would just sit there in a chair.
I know.
Thinking about Daniel Jones, she's obsessed with Daniel Jones.
It's hilarious. She's got them all over her headers and everything. So I was thinking I was gonna do just my own revision of the 3-cone challenge. I was gonna go out there in the same exact outfit I had before, but in the snow. And it didn't snow enough for me to do it. And it kind of rained on me. I couldn't get people out to do it. It will. And when I do it, I'm going to go out in the same exact outfit, the headband, the same USA shirt, the same thing. And do the
same beer at the finish line.
Same thing. I got to buy the same beer. I'm going to have my wife out there. And so I just wanted to have Steffi just do it against me. You know what I mean? She can do it in real clothes. I'm going to do it in my shorts and my I'm going to pull the shorts up and do the whole thing again, verbatim. So
AJ Dillon ties out there.
Yeah, show people my calves. And what I decided to do is I'm going to do a 3-cone challenge in the summer and to have 64 people compete against each other to raise money or raise awareness or whatever they want for whatever cause they have, and just see whose video gets the most likes. So instead of doing these stupid fucking polls, we're like, hey man, like this vote and like my poll because I made this poll and I want you to be whatever it is. We're gonna make 2 videos, you doing a 3-cone and me doing a 3-cone, and people are gonna just, whoever's video gets more likes or whatever it is, we'll figure out a way to do it. I want to get the 3-cone challenge out there because it could be a way just to get fantasy football people just building content and having hilarious fun.
Oh, it's going to be gold. Literal gold.
Chugging at the end. Like, here's the thing. You might be faster than me, but you're not going to chug faster than me and run faster than me and then talk shit better than me. So I can't wait to win this again. And if someone
I might be able to. I'm a Chico State alumnus.
You might get Aaron Rodgers in your video and shit, and I'm just like defeated, you know.
Well, no, I don't. I chug way faster than Aaron Rodgers. I chug like Tom Brady.
Well, you can make fun of him. You can have him in your video, and you'd be like, pivot to him, like, no, and then
so
you could
around here, we were ashamed when Aaron Rodgers couldn't chug that beer because he's from Chico.
It was bad.
Tom Brady's from San Mateo, which is in the Bay Area, and he chugged beer like a champ. And I was like, damn, Tom Brady is definitely NorCal.
Yeah,
and we don't claim Aaron Rodgers after that display at the Bucs game. That was pathetic.
That was terrible. And speaking of that, Mike, where are you going for running back? You got Kelsey, Murray, Hopkins, and Shark, which I love so far.
I'm going to throw JT in there.
JT.
Stars and scrubs, baby.
Money.
Okay. So what's my average? I don't know if I have enough to do that.
Who you want to do?
I still don't have a lot of money left.
Well, let's do this. Let's put in your defense and then figure out.
Let's just do the defense. All
right.
All right.
We got from 45 down to 2,000. The Jags don't do that. Don't do that.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do Washington football team.
Okay,
that's about as low as I'll go this week.
And then we've got left. We have 12,000 for 3 positions. 12,300. So RB.
What's Sony Michel?
Ooh. Hey, can I throw a name out there that's a deep sleeper at running back?
Okay.
Rashad Penny is back this week.
I know. I've been paying attention to that. I don't want to put him in. I'm gonna go Sony Michel, and then what do I have left?
8,000. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a nubs at flex. All right, let's go to wide receiver. Okay, go down. Get me in the 5s. Go up. All right. Go up. Well,
that's a good group. That's a good group. This is the group I've been living in with Cash.
Yeah.
Cash games.
I'll go Russell Gage.
Ooh, yeah. Russell Gage is in my Thunderdome lineup.
And then I have what, 3,300? Okay, this is not good.
It's actually not bad either. Traquan Smith, what do you think about this?
No Michael Thomas.
Why not?
I'm just that's just one guy, just one guy. You got Scotty Miller, 3,200. I'm just Colin Johnson.
Zach Pascal's a good one. Colin Johnson, I like. Up there at 34 or 33, I believe. You have Cam
Sims. I like Cam Sims.
Let's put Cam Sims in there then.
Because he's going to be against either Shaq Griffin or the other guy on the outside for Seattle, who's probably the worst corner in the league by giving up points per target.
Is Alex Smith going to play, though?
No, Haskins is. Yeah. So a lot of people are on McLaurin because him and Haskins are Ohio State buddies. Like, they were practically roommates there. But Cam Sims is the receiver on the other side, and the Seattle corners are both terrible on the outside. So you could have a nice smash there with upside if Haskins hits a bomb to Cam Sims, or because Cam Sims is actually really good after the catch.
Take him back out. Let me see who else is around there. I just don't want to play anybody.
We saw that 2 weeks ago where Cam Sims got his 10 or 11 target game and a lot of yards out of the catch, tons of them.
I think Traquan Smith is the biggest upside here in this group for me.
I'm with you.
He's a red zone target.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you've got Kyle Murray, Jonathan Taylor, Sonny Michel, Hopkins, Shark, Gage, Kelsey, Traquan Smith, and then the Washington football team. And you want to see how that lineup plays over here?
I think it's going to be perfect.
Yeah. So let me try to memorize this. Murray, Taylor, Michelle, Hopkins, Shark, Gage, Kelsey, Smith. Okay.
I'd be shocked if anybody had Sonny Michel. But you never know with Bill Belichick. Damian Harris is banged up. Burkhead's out for the season.
I think Harris is out too.
He is.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's pretty gorgeous because Miami's good against the pass. Their corners are really good, but they're kind of middle of the road against the run.
They're not going to throw it, so that's why I did him in my fantasy millionaires.
That Patriots Dolphins game might be completely unwatchable.
Yeah.
Because Tua's going up against Belichick. It's like when he went up against Herbert, and Herbert had all his weapons and still got shut out.
It's going to be a defensive Belichick using all his pieces to win that game.
We got no Parker, no Grant. We're talking Mac Hollins and
Lynn Bowden.
Yeah, Lynn Bowden Jr. are the top two wide receivers for the Dolphins this week.
Yeah.
And then they have Matt Breida and I think Salvon Ahmed is back in, but good Lord. Yeah, that game's going to be a field goal fest. Kelsey, good Lord. Murray, Taylor, Hopkins, and Kelsey. And Gage is one of my favorite guys for both formats. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Gage was the difference in me winning the Thunderdome because his volume's been solid the last 2 weeks with Julio out, and Ridley's going to get the bracket coverage.
And Mike going at 71% ownership, which is really nice. That's excellent. All right, last guy up is a rotten egg. It's going to be me. I'm gonna build mine real quick, and this is all by myself. So all by myself. You can definitely make fun of me later behind my back.
I will. I'll do it to your face. I'm not a behind the back kind of guy.
I'm going Lamar Jackson because I think he just has the biggest upside.
And like we said earlier, there's no fourth quarter sub.
No, there's none.
If blowing him out, it's going to be Lamar still out there.
Yeah,
unless he gets diarrhea again.
That was great. That was great. I love that.
That was one of the best games I've ever watched.
Dude, I feel so embarrassed. It took me like a long time to get the only Lamar Jackson could take the Browns to the Super Bowl. What are they talking about? I don't get it.
3 or 4 poop-related stories in the NFL this season, and most of them around the Cleveland Browns.
Huh.
Or in the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. It's amazing. All the poop stories are around the Browns, and it's 2020, the poopiest year of all time. Everybody poops. That's a standard. But of all the years to have multiple big poop stories in the NFL, this is beautiful. Like OBJ playing for the Browns and having a poop fetish is legendary story status.
That's one. What else is there?
The Lamar thing, and then there was one more. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But did you guys see I posted a meme that I found on Reddit, which was SpongeBob pouring something in a funnel into Patrick's mouth, and it was Lamar Jackson bathroom trip, or Lamar Jackson against the Browns, and OBJ was Patrick with the funnel going into his mouth. So it's Lamar Jackson, and then OBJ laying on the ground as Patrick with the funnel in his mouth, and I was like, "This is amazing."
That's terrible. That's insane.
That's my humor. It's like if it's farts and poops, I'm all over it.
Oh, I like it. I wrote about white dog shit. That's just insane. Like I
Why has Patrick Mahomes got the funnel?
No, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, wait. But whose mouth is it going into?
OBJ.
Oh, I thought there was a third person.
He's got the poop funnel.
Okay. I was like, I thought he was like holding the funnel because I didn't understand it. All right. Like, what is Patrick Mahomes? He likes poop too? I don't know. I didn't know that.
So I'm looking for an upside running back right now that's lower priced. Oh man, what do you think about Kenyon Drake? I don't love the matchup against Philly, but I think Kenyon Drake's gonna get all the touches this week.
Volume, yes. Touchdown upside, yes. Yards per carry, way bad, no.
Yeah,
I mean, Philly's run defense is really good, but you're hoping for multiple touchdowns there, which is very possible because Drake is pretty good at finding the end zone.
I'm wondering if I should pay up at wide receiver for one and then skimp on two, or go medium across the board. What do you guys think?
I think you should go up on one and then skimp on the other two, because like that $5,000 range where I've been hitting cash games, it's kind of really just PPR steady. There's not a lot of upside there. Like other than Gage, which I feel could be sneaky upside, you're getting a lot of like 10 to 15 point expected totals, not higher. You're not looking for 20 points out of those guys. What
do you guys think about Corey Davis this week?
Sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Rebound. I mean, he was supposed to be a smash last week, but it was the AJ Brown show. He was getting more volume than he's gotten all year, and Corey Davis kind of was left wanting, which was surprising because I was very high on Corey Davis last week.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a little sleepy. I mean, people are off Corey Davis again because of one bad week. Because it's Corey Davis.
What do you guys think of Marquise Brown as a total dart throw?
Hate it.
He's always a dart throw.
Mike hates it.
Every touchdown he scored this year has been completely fluky too.
Yeah.
He's been dreadful every single play, and then he's caught long touchdowns in garbage time 4 straight weeks.
I don't want to do that. I don't like that.
He can't deliver the ball to him. He's just too little.
Yeah. And the straight line speed guys like him and Ruggs, they don't have wiggle. They're just fast. And in the NFL, everybody's fast. So you're hoping
Lamar can't hit him. He can't. No. He needs bigger targets than that dude.
Yeah, and that's why Boykin is a better play than Hollywood. Duvernay is a better play than Hollywood. Hollywood's just a gross player. Like he's your smash like flash play, but he's always overpriced. I don't get how his price doesn't drop off that far.
Yeah. So I like Ayuk a lot this week. I like Lamar Jackson. I don't have to stack him necessarily. I've got 9,500 left. I want to kind of make it matter here. Where are you guys thinking? Is somebody like Mostert? Would you go Mostert, Collins, or do you think that the play is moving away from Mostert since he's been injured and not very successful this year?
I mean, he since he's come back, they're not giving him any goal line work. It's all Jeff Wilson now.
All Jeff Wilson. And I have 2 spicy stacks related to the 2 guys I'm about to mention. It's Jeff Wilson and it's Gus Edwards. They're both the same price range. I think Wilson's at 51. And Wilson's a touchdown vulture by nature. So even if Mostert gets more carries, Wilson's getting every carry inside the 20. And he's getting passing attempts inside the 20.
What about David Johnson at 51?
If you want to throw up, then yeah. I think that's the bulimia pick of the week.
It's so hard down in that range if I go with Gus Edwards.
Well, that would be the stack that I would rather do with Lamar, because if you're hoping for that garbage time volume, Gus Edwards is going to get all of it, and he's got multiple touchdown upside for the second week in a row. But I'm not tied to him because I mean if you're feeling like Lamar is going to be a good naked play, which he always is.
Yeah.
It's like even when Lamar sucked earlier this year, he's still hitting 20 points every week.
Yeah,
I do. I was still 17 or 18, which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I hate Sony Michel, but man, 4,300 is. I mean, it's just.
You don't like David Johnson at 51?
I'd rather get Jeff Wilson at 51.
Yeah, but you have Raheem Mostert in that situation.
So?
I'm just saying. I mean, David Johnson's going to get all the work.
What about Leonard Fournette against Atlanta?
Hate him.
I'm interested in it. I don't see why David Johnson doesn't get at least one touchdown tomorrow if there's no Duke out there to mess with him.
I'm biased. You say David Johnson and I say no every time.
Yeah.
I'm completely biased against David Johnson. I don't care if he's on a gold platter with a $4,000 min tag against the Houston Texans. If he's going to get into his own defense, which is one of the worst in the league, I still wouldn't play David Johnson. So my bias is really showing there, where I hate him so much that I wouldn't play him no matter what.
What about Kiki QT? What do you guys think about the QT guy this week?
Love it.
I faded him. I told you I'm not a fan.
I know you fucking hate him. It's so hard to go all in on somebody that somebody hates so much.
That's a good range, though. That 5,300.
Yeah.
You got Chark there. You got Pittman there. You got Gage there. You got your stupid Sammy Watkins pick.
That is a stupid pick. I'm not going to do that again.
No, I hate that. I hate that pick almost as much as I hate David Johnson, which means that he's going to score 2 touchdowns.
I mean, fine. I'll play Sammy Watkins because what the fuck. Yeah. All right. So here's my lineup. I've got Lamar Jackson, Hines, Kamara, Ayuk, Davis, Gage, Irv Smith Jr., Watkins, and then I went with the Rams.
I didn't see you put the Rams in until just now. Why wouldn't you pair them with Akers?
Because
if you're talking game flow,
yeah,
Akers. I mean, the Jets are tough against the run, and so Akers' ownership is going to be pretty low, I think.
Let me look and see where this lineup ranks in ownership right now. So the
Rams are going to be the Rams at 4,500. All you're worried about is chalk, because if you're going to spend up, you don't want chalk.
Yeah, let me look and see where they're at right now.
And so if I'm saying, hey, I absolutely want to spend up on the Rams regardless of their ownership, I want to stack them with a running back, because that's going to eat some of your chalk there. Am I right or am I wrong?
You might be really right. Let me just look and see where everybody is at in my chalk.
Yeah, I don't think your overall lineup is too bad. I think you're going to be around 75, which is perfectly appropriate. Nyheim Hines, man, I can't wait. I am so surprised you didn't have Hines in your lineup, just like you're surprised I didn't have Derrick Henry in mine.
I mean, I was close. I really like him a lot, but
I love Derrick Henry, but this week at 9,500 in a cash game, I wanted to find value elsewhere.
No,
and it might bite me in the ass because Henry's going to blow up again. But I couldn't find an appealing cash lineup around him. So
dude,
even though I expect
70%, I haven't even put in my anything yet.
Ayuk is super chalky, Kamara is super chalky.
So Gage, Irv Smith, and Watkins. Let's see what that does for me.
Yeah, what's killing you is Kamara and Ayuk. Because Ayuk is averaging 15 targets the last 3 weeks. It's the Cowboys. There's not a corner on that team that can cover Ayuk or anybody on the 49ers receiving corps. Kendrick Bourne's going to go off. I think I'm also going to have a lineup with Ross Dwelley in it because he's splitting snaps with Jordan Reed.
Okay, so we're We're almost there. And you guessed
Sammy.
around 75%. We're at 79. It's not terrible. That's not terrible.
No, that's average.
Yeah, that's not bad. Ownership
this week is going to be iffy.
Who would you pivot off of here to get to Acres? Because that's going to be, I've got $200 left, but that's going to be another 1,000. I got to shed.
Acres is 64, right?
He's 66, I believe.
Check him again because I don't know for sure, but I want to see his ownership too. That might be a telling factor too.
66. He's at 13.
So, yeah, I don't think you want that.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, then perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm accepting of that. I've still got 2 more bullets to play with as well tomorrow. So, it sounds like a winner to me. Well, I think that's it. That's lots of content, lots of hanging out, lots of great stuff. Bo, where can people follow you here if they're listening to the Fast Hard Finish? Where can they check out your stuff?
You can find me at Bo_McBigTime on Twitter. All my stuff is shared daily. I'm a super Twitter user. I tweet more from work than I do from home. So I'm always at work, live at work, commute to work, and I'm on Twitter all the time. So find me at Bo_McBigTime. I'll be throwing shade at people, I'll be praising people, throwing out all the content. And you can find my writing at nimblewnumbers.com/bo-nose-dfs, at podcasticnetwork.com, at hammercast.com, and now at fantasy6pack.net for the Thunderdome. And occasionally I throw some ideas at Scott for his value risers and fallers value article, which I get partial credit for some reason. Which my contribution is about as much as the male contribution to having a baby.
Thrusting, a lot of thrusting. No,
thrusting.
And hotboxbatch.com if you want to get some of the best hot sauce around. I was roster baiting to it or food baiting to it earlier. It is worth the shicky shake up. Yeah. Mike got his batch of 5 this week, right, Mike? You've been putting it everywhere.
I'm already almost down 1 bottle.
Hey.
So, hot box is, again, I'm a very biased person. I have my prejudices, but hot box is the best hot sauce in the world. It's the best condiment in the world. It's good on every food from sweet to savory. They're also on hotboxbatch.com is my Smoke Shack barbecue seasoning rub, which, according to Big Red Flink, can be eaten with a spoon. It's just a seasoning blend that can be good on any protein or vegetable. It's especially good on potatoes. And so we're talking Bono's flavor, Bono's picante. I hang my hat not on my writing, not on my DFS knowledge, not on my fantasy football prowess, but on my palate. I love flavor. I love all the colors of the rainbow when it comes to ingesting food and drinks. My palate is my pride, and so get your stuff at hotboxbatch.com. And if you like the logo, it was designed by Viridian Global, Mark Mathick, Master June 70. And you can get my merch, my t-shirts, my baseball style t-shirts at viridianglobal.com/collections/lifestyle.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Mike, where can the people find you at, good sir?
My house in Frederick, Maryland. I never leave.
Nice.
I'm always here. And then also on the interwebs, Ralph Macho at the Ralph Macho. And at the Fantasy Millionaires, FF Millionaires.
I love it. And you can find me at Nimble W Numbers. You can also find me at the FF Millionaires, FantasyMillionaires.com, NimbleNumbers.com, FantasySixPack.net, and anywhere and everywhere that fantasy is being footballed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to DFS the shit out of this motherfucker, and we're going to win some money. Peace.
Sure.
Peace.
Good luck, everybody.